Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and today I'm going to show you guys a unique collection that I bought. Nothing crazy, nothing like super expensive, but I have a feeling that every single person who is watching this, they're going to see something that they've never seen before, at least Pokemon related. I know when I bought this collection, uh, I saw several things that were a first for me. And so while there's nothing like super crazy astounding, it is mostly like toys and different things like that. There are some card things in there, but I'm going to show you guys what I picked up. And like this very first thing, I don't know what this is. But I got this collection off of a WotC manager that I had presumed was dead. I had not been able to speak with her for almost a decade now. Actually, over a decade. I have no idea what this is. It's like, is that like a top that gets spun out? Do I lock it in maybe? Let's see if we can get it to work. Let's see. Maybe I have to spin it. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to work. Oh yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen here. All right. Oh yeah, and it works too. But anyway, she had a crazy story. She called me out of the blue a few months back, and apparently she's alive. And a lot of her stuff was stolen. This is the same one that I was able to get a lot of product off of. Man, that thing is going good. This thing has a little Charizard on the side of it. It says sample. Look at that. It's a piece of tape on it, sample. So whether or not this is something that ever released, I don't know. A lot of this stuff I just took a chance on. I was like, hey, for the stuff I've never seen, I'll give you this amount of money for it just because I think it's cool. And then there were several things that do have a price. Man, it is still going. This is on a Playmat too. Man, we'll just let it sit there for a second while I'm talking about it. The bad thing is all the stuff that I got in it smells like smoke. All right, so we have 57 collectible toys only at Burger King. And so, all right, looks like it did finally stop. Definitely in working condition. That one was a cool little Articuno. Let me put this thing back in here. Put it back inside. All right, there's the first thing. Definitely not card related, but still pretty cool. All right, this one does have cards inside of it, but I'm going to show you. First, if you guys remember these, man, I used to have a ton of them just from different collections. But inside of here, what do we have? A Dragonite. Look at that. Pretty cool little toy. I may be the first person touching it. I don't know. So let me put it back in there. You used to clip these in to clip them into your belt. Oh, man. I'm trying to get it back in there. Right there. I used to have a bunch of them. But also check out what comes inside of it. So if you guys remember, I did a video a while back. I was opening up these black little baggies, and I pulled out cards like this that were Burger King, but look, the sides are smooth. These are not perforated. So the majority of these cards that are on the market come from those little 3x3 sheets that you would have gotten at Burger King. You would have to have torn them apart, and they are all perforated. However, there are versions that are not perforated. I thought that they only come from the little black baggies. Well, this right here doesn't have the little black bag. In fact, it comes inside of it loose. Now, it is definitely bent up, so I imagine a lot of them that made it out like this are probably just like that. But yeah, so if you're ever looking for those Burger King cards, there are two different versions. The reason I know about them is because I was pursuing the Charizard for the longest time. The tins that were graded, unfortunately, they do look like they were just clipped, perforated versions of them. All right, there's a Beedrill. Let's see if that's what we get. Last one we had Electrode. But it was Dragonite. Got a Jigglypuff. This one doesn't have paper. This one has plastic. Oh, yeah. I remember these. All right, here we go. We got another spinner. Let's see if we can do it. All right, so these used to spin really good, too. They got a little bit of weight to them. Look at that, man. That's just going. But, unfortunately, it looks like the Jigglypuff is not balanced well. Some of them were. Like the Diglett, he was balanced really well. And that guy, he could spin and spin and spin and spin. So, pretty cool toys. Old school, genuine. I don't know what the market is for this kind of stuff. I doubt that I'm going to be able to get anything out of them. I'm just going to postage alone can kill a lot of the price. Unless there are certain vintage collectors who really value this kind of stuff. Probably just going to figure out a way to air them out, get the smoke smell off of them, and then I'll put them on display. All right, check this out. Got looks like a Psyduck type of Pez, some kind of Japanese thing. It's got the candy still in there. I did for a minute think, okay, this would make a pretty cool video if I went and put the candy in there and saw if it worked and actually ate the candy. I'm not too worried about dry candy that's over 20 years old, but maybe I should be. I guess we're pushing 30 years at this point. 0.35 ounces, so 3,500 ounces. There's all the dietary stuff on that. I was looking for a year. I'm sure it's on here somewhere. I'm just not seeing it. Or maybe it's in Japanese and I can't read it. I don't know. But yeah, there we go. Little Pez container. All right, next up, what do we have? All right, so there was some magic stuff. These are like full sets. Got the little wizard logos on there. You can hardly see them, but they are there. Dominaria full set premium. And then we have the Midnight Hunt. So I believe this might be the foils. Not too sure. I went ahead and picked these up for a decent price. They seem like to be something that you can find on eBay. So I don't think they're that scarce. But if I can get some Pokemon sets like that, that would be top notch. All right, next up, a little bit of Neopets. Don't know much about Neopets, but here they are. Bonus 8-card booster pack. So you got the Neopet stuff right there. Now this was cool. I'm not even sure what's in here. Some kind of dice game, but it's got Snorlax on it. Still in the original box. Looks like it's got some kind of Snorlax figure. Then you got your dice, maybe some tickets. And I don't even know what's over there on the side. But man, look at those graphics. Oh, Ash. Misty, I mean, she's looking pretty rough. Or no, that's not Misty. That's Gary. That's Gary. I don't... Maybe that's why Misty was looking a little rough, because it wasn't Misty. Yeah, so it looks like he's getting ready to throw out his Snorlax. And then Gary, I guess he has Zapdos. And Snorlax was pretty powerful in the original game. I don't know how he'd fare up against a Zapdos, though. All right, we have these. Pretty cool. I do have all 6. They're all blue. And they do seem to be still sealed. You know, so they're in the original seal. I'm not going to pull them out. But pretty much what you have going on in here is this. You're going to have this. You got this Burger King ball. Inside of it, you have a gold-plated card. This one's going to have Poliwhirl on it. And then there's 6 different ones. I'll show you all 6. The outside box anyways. And then you'll have a certificate of authenticity as well that goes with it. And that's just like a little card. PSA does grade these things now, or at least they were grading them. I assume that they still are. There's the Pikachu. I've thought about opening them up and grading them, going for a Charizard 10. Now, if you know anything about the history of these were actually recalled. So Burger King put these out. Lots of them went out. Well, there was a parent who left one of these balls with their infant baby in the crib. And unfortunately, the ball, you can see how it opens up. Let's see if you can. Well, it opens up about this wide. It got stuck against the side of the crib, and I believe that the baby's mouth and nose got covered by that ball, and they ended up suffocating. Doesn't seem like something that would happen, but very unfortunate. And because of that, they issued a recall, and all of these were discontinued, but they were supposed to be taken back, but nobody ever took them back. Even a lot of the restaurants, just you could find the entire cases. But unfortunate series of events, I guess, that happened with that. I think it was more than one child that something like that happened to, but I believe there was at least one death from it, which is very unfortunate. So they put out a recall. But even though there was a big recall, there's still tons of these things out there. Just went to auction a few of the original master cases of 100. In fact, I have one of those from Z&G. All right, here we go. So this is an old Playmats cloth. Got cool artwork on it. You got the Snorlax there. Got the Ivysaur. Nice little, got the watercolors. But yeah, you can see how big it is. They're not that rare, but I mean, they're definitely not common the way they used to be. Got a couple of the original mats. There's great artwork on it. Like, just the colors were so strong. So much contrast. Put this on the other side. I think what I'm going to do to try to air this stuff out, I'm going to get a bunch of new cards in 5-row boxes, and I'm going to set it in front of a fan. I'm going to have the fan blow over those new cards and then point it, towards all this stuff in an open area. So it's like airing out. It's getting blown off by the fan, but then it's also having that card smell blown onto them. It goes through the different directions. I'm showing this to you because some of you may have seen this before, some of you may have not. Got Gary Oak. There's the Pikachu. Got the Venusaur. These are all the promo versions. And then there's a back as well. But pretty cool to see these little mats. I gave almost like a broad price for most of that kind of stuff. There were some jumbo Pikachus. This is the original one, not the one that was recently done. You can see on the back it's printed not for play or use, or not for play use. Has anybody ever made a jumbo deck? That would be interesting. Now, this is pretty cool. Check this out. An original Meiji Juice can. And I guess it's going to have that Pikachu. I don't know if it's in the bottom. I believe it's somewhere in here. The coin itself. It might be below the tab. I don't know. I've never opened one of these up. So I'm not sure. Maybe you open it and you twist. Like you can see this right here. You wouldn't think it'd be in the can, but maybe it is. I mean, I would think that's where it is. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a coin somewhere in this. But it's held up all these years. All right. Next up we have got some little figures right here. So you got this Squirtle on a pink Pokeball. These toys are really nice. Good quality. Got the Clefairy. Oops. Did I do that wrong? I did that wrong. And then you've got the Jigglypuff. Comes in this case. I mean, I guess this was something that was manufactured 1997. Tommy, made in China. So, I mean, this was 2 years before it was ever released in America. Got some more toys right here. Now, you can kind of tell they're early, mainly because of the Jinx. See, the Jinx still have Blackface. So Blackface Jinx was done away with, and it was changed to purple. Here you've got an Eevee. You can tell, yeah. I'll zoom in a little bit. A lot of these, they're just almost a different style. There's Neo 2. I wonder if these all say Tommy. Yeah, this is a Tommy toy. It doesn't say the year on it. See right there. Tommy was like one of the original ones, I guess, who at least put their name on these old toys. There's a Venonat, a Psyduck, and I'm not even sure what this is. Some kind of clip with a ball on it. So I guess, you know, that'd be like your Pokeball. You pull it out, but it says S. Keshimon holder. Maybe Keshimon's some kind of word in Japanese. All right, next up. Now this wasn't anything too fancy, but check it out. I've got old pencils in here. This one's a pen, a Charmander pen. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then we've got some inserts. Here, I'll show you what this stuff is. So this is old damage counters. But these, you guys probably know what they are. Here, I don't want them getting damaged. I can get a different bag on it. Yeah, so these would have been from the original WB movies. These are just the inserts. Let me turn all these around. This would have been from the original ones, not the rounded with the yellow. Or these would have been the ones, I guess, that you exchange out. And then look, just clear insert, just blank inserts, nothing there. All right, moving along. See, some of this stuff is kind of cool. All right, we got a Togepi plush. I don't know, this is like an original plush, but it does have some tape across the top. I guess maybe it's either Togepi, Wigglytuff, or Ivysaur. Or maybe this is all that you can get, but this one's going to be the Togepi since it's right there in the middle. Here we have another, what is this? Some kind of can. There's something in there. I haven't opened it. Does it open? All right, so it's busted, so I guess we can go ahead and open it. Well, no, it's not bent. We'll leave it a mystery. So there's the Charizard. I don't know what's going to be in there. Something will be in there. Looks like a can of food, doesn't it? All right, we're getting down to the last few items here. Let's see. These were, I think, to protect these. Check it out. With a scissor and a Suicune, and they're in German. These are German box toppers. Now, they're not in the best of condition, but overall, they're pretty good. Definitely not going to put them back between the Magic the Gathering sleeves. These look like that. They're kind of newer. Maybe not like anything too old, but in German. I don't know. Like I gave her some prices on these things. I was like, these aren't, super popular, but they're not like it's not like you're gonna go find a bunch of box toppers from German Skyridge boxes. All right, here we go. This is dated December 30th, 1999. Samples from Taiwan factory, Curie Company. And then you can see that information there. But you've got league badges. I mean, they look like the league badges that were released, at least the white versions. It's 5 of the original 8. You're missing what are we missing? The Earth badge, Soul, and one other one. I can't think of what it is right now. You got the Thunder, Cascade, Boulder, Marsh, and Rainbow. I think that's what we have there. But man, look at all those hairs in there. I don't know why they'd be samples unless this was to the original badges were the yellow versions, and now you've got those were the white back versions. All right, we have this right here from the gift boxes. You got the tiny Water Blast theme deck. You could also get the other one as well. It was Overgrowth, small like that. So very cool. Not as many people know about the tiny decks. The regular size theme decks are going to be a little bit more well known. It's not like something that's super hidden. But check this out. So I've seen those decals that are for base set. Let me zoom back out. This is a base set 2 window decal. And you see you got the Mewtwo, the Hitmonchan, the Scyther, and you can tell it's base set 2 because this right here, you got base set 2 over it, but also the cards are base set 2. The base set 2 series is a combination to the original base set cards and jungle expansion cards. So, and that's correct. There were no fossil cards that were included in base set 2, even though fossil had already been released. I imagine it was something that they had started trying to do after fossil had already been set but hadn't been released yet. And then right here you've got the CD-ROM, and these are just like window clings. I don't know how many of these. I assume there's a lot of these out there, but for the life of me, I can't think of a time when I've owned any for base set 2. So this is pretty cool. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you guys some coins and stuff. I don't know what that says. We got some badges here. So these are like the yellow version. You can see how these are a little bit darker. But there's a Cascade. You got the Thunder, Boulder, another Boulder, Cascade, Thunder. Is that original one? I don't know if that's Kanto, Johto. Yeah, these are 99 here. But check out these coins. Oh, man. So I was like, I'll give you $100 for the coins. It's like, some of these could be worth something. Some of them might not be. Like, that's just a pog right there. Look at that little Starmie coin. I might try to grade some of these. I don't know. There's a blank one. That was a thing, too. But I assume that you could just take acetone to any of these and make it blank. There's a Meowth, another Meowth. Third Meowth coin. You got the Pikachu coin. There's a gold one. I can't remember what those come from. There's the gold Lugia. I know that the silver Lugia was like the standard. There's another Starmie. These are probably some of the Meiji Juice ones. You got a Squirtle and a Pikachu. These metal ones here are a bit more rare. There's another Pikachu. There's a gold Pikachu. Another type of Pikachu. I used to have a ton of these things. Now I just don't see them anymore. There's another Pikachu coin. There's the Neo Genesis theme deck Lugia. Well, I guess it was several Neo decks that had that. There's another Pikachu. The Pikachu gold coin. I love seeing these coins. Aerodactyl. That would have been from a fossil theme deck. Charmander. Another Aerodactyl. These are in decent shape for all just being thrown in here. A lot of these Starmie coins. I'll probably just send these out to be graded. Just see what happens. I can tell some of them aren't going to do that great. But I don't know. There could be. I know there's some market for these things if you can get them in a high grade. But it's really niche. It's just niche in general for coins compared to the cards itself. There's Aerodactyl. Another Aerodactyl. Another Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl again. Got another Meowth. Another one of those Pikachu coins. I'm trying to remember what exactly this come from. It says Toys R Us, but I don't think you exactly got it from the leagues that you can have at Toys R Us. Maybe you did. It's been so long. I used to have the history on all these things. Ooh, there's a few more of the blank ones. There's a Hitmonlee, Pog, and we'll have one more Meowth. All right, guys. I know there wasn't anything too crazy exciting in there, but I thought it'd be kind of cool just to go through something different, show you guys one of these collections that I rarely get to buy anymore, just because this is something that, I mean, it's coming from Watsy employee. She probably just set this stuff away right at the beginning and then never thought it was worth anything. She found the box and now she wants to move it all. She, so it's relatively easy for me to buy. Not too easy to resell these kind of things, but it is super cool to see. And so I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know if you are somebody, when you saw these items, you've seen every single item in this video before. Because if you have, then you must be like way down in the rabbit hole, because some of these things I have never seen. But hope you guys enjoyed the video.